On today's episode, Jesse Bruce.
This is the world's toughest podcast. Welcome to the world's toughest podcast, where we talk about any obstacle course race you'd like, as long as that's world's toughest mudder. Each week we talk to members of the WTM community and share stories of success and failure in the single greatest event in OCR. My name is Will Hicks, and this is the world's toughest podcast.
Welcome back to World's Toughest Podcast. My name is Will Hicks. Thank you for listening to the number one rated obstacle course racing podcast in the world. Somebody was asking me about reviews yesterday, number of reviews specifically, and so I went back and checked. I did the math, and I added up all the countries, and up all the places, and we are still number one and climbing. Thank you for leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Amazon.com. It means a lot to me, personally. Sometimes this gets hard, like it wears on you, right? It's a lot of work. It takes time. So I'll go back and read old reviews, and people say nice things, and it like cheers you up. And you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing some good. On today's show, Jesse Bruce. Jesse is a veteran of World's Toughest Mudder, and he is a elite that has been on the brink, and I think he could be, I don't want to use the word wild card or dark horse, but I think he could be a guy that makes some noise, and he's someone whose name you might not have heard before. So excited to talk with Jesse Bruce today on the show. Before we talk to Jesse, you can email me at willhicks@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheWillHicks. And you can follow the show on Instagram at World's Toughest Podcast. While you're on Instagram, check out the World's Toughest Podcast hashtag World's Toughest Podcast. That is where our social media team is posting pictures, or they're hashtagging their pictures with announcements for new episodes, with their thoughts or reviews of each episode, and also with general World's Toughest Mudder stuff. They're showing their packing list, or they're showing what wetsuit they're going to bring. So check out hashtag World's Toughest Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and follow those people that are posting with the hashtag, our World's Toughest social media team. Aaron Broadfoot just joined our team yesterday. Very excited to see what Aaron brings to the table there. Today is election day in the United States, and if there's one thing you listen to an obstacle course racing podcast for, it's politics. So I'm just going to mention one issue in California. They're voting whether or not to abolish daylight savings time. So if that's what you want your tax dollars to go towards, there's something you can vote on. I would never tell you how to vote on daylight savings time. That's far too personal an issue to talk about. You can find out more on my other podcast, World's Toughest California Politics. Last thing before we talk with Jesse Bruce, be sure to email me at worldstoughestpodcast@gmail.com with So Smart WTM in the subject line. In the body of the email, let me know who will win World's Toughest Mudder, the man and woman, and the second and third place man and woman. So top 3 men, top 3 women. Pick the podium, and if you get all 6 positions correct, I will call you on air to congratulate you personally, because you have won a brand new sticker. Very exciting. So email me, worldstoughestpodcast@gmail.com. So Smart WTM in the subject line. Don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And be sure to check out our new website, theocrreport.com. It's brand new. We're still building it out, but we're very excited about it. theocrreport.com. It's time to talk with Jesse Bruce. Let's go to the phones.
Jesse Bruce, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Jesse, World's Toughest Mudder is just around the corner. How do you feel right now?
I actually feel really good. I'm really excited for this one. This is the least injured I've ever done at this time of year, so I'm really excited to have a strong race and get to the end of that 24 hours.
How's your training been this year?
Training's been great. I've been all over the place trying to, I love the art and the challenge of trying to train, for the 24-hour race while also trying to train for these short course and different style of races. So it's awesome, but I think I've done it the best I've ever done it, and excited to put the challenge to the test.
You've run the course. You've run World's Toughest before in Vegas. This is the first year it'll be in Atlanta. What do you think of Atlanta?
Yeah. I don't know. I've just been looking at the weather. I've looked at the weather history. It looks like it could be interesting. It looks really hot during the day, and then it looks like it can drop at nighttime, and then you also get the East Coast humidity. So I think it could play for some interesting challenges and really, test people with the heat, the cold, and, have those variables come into play. So it could be interesting.
How do you do in the cold? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
You know what? I'm actually do way better in the extreme heat than I do in the extreme cold. But it's one thing, I've been a little more prepared for it this year. I wasn't prepared for it last year equipment-wise, but, I can definitely, being from Canada, I definitely can handle the cold. But, yeah, better in the heat, but not worried about it.
What kind of wetsuit are you going to wear, or how thick?
I have the Orca Shorty. I believe it's a 2 millimeter. It's a swim run, so I like it for the mobility of it, and, being able to swim and run efficient. But I also got a 2 millimeter vest that can go underneath, and may get something over top too, just to make sure.
You ran 50 miles at Toughest Mudder, Michigan this year in 8 hours.
Yes.
How did that?
Yeah.
How does that help your confidence going into World's Toughest?
That was awesome, and a huge confidence booster. And I learned a lot that race too. But I felt amazing the whole time, and then again, big confidence booster. I still felt good at the end. I felt. I learned a lot. I think I was even taking too long at pits compared to the other guys. I noticed my lap times were, I had some faster lap times than the two guys ahead of me, and but I was taking too long in the pit. So lesson learned, more prepared for that. But yeah, again, huge confidence booster. Felt amazing for it, and learned a lot. So I'm glad I did it.
Talk about learning strategy for the pit there. What's your pit plan for World's Toughest?
My pit plan is to not spend a whole lot of time in there and have everything ready. I got a solid pit and people on my team, and then I've practiced with the foods I want to eat. Just limit the time you can be in there, and even if you're just switch and get some food and still keep walking, then. That adds up over time. But, and then I want to be, quicker even through the middle of the night. I don't want to get cold in the middle of the night. So, again, fast pits. But then, not too fast. It's a very long race, so there's no sense in rushing, to stay calm, keep it cool, and then just keep pushing forward. So, I got my nutrition down, and,
What do you use for nutrition? Do you like real food? Do you use gels?
I use both, so that's another part of my plan. I want to start the day with as much real food as I can. So, everything from sweet potatoes to some breads to some peanut butter jelly sandwiches, anything that's actual real that you need to chew on. I mean, they're definitely going to have a lot of fruit, oranges, watermelons and stuff to put back. And then, as the race goes on and as it gets more difficult to eat and, hold stuff down and have it not make you sick, that's when, I get to the, my maple syrup gels and stuff. I can always eat those. Your warm soups in the middle of the night, even, any calories, Red Bulls, Cokes, anything to get the calories in, because it does, that's one thing I've learned. It's hard to, hold food down or find something you can actually, eat and swallow without it making you sick or or whatever. So that's my plan, and then just have I use tailwind also, so that's something that I can always eat and drink no matter what and get the calories in. So I think I got my plan down. So start with real food, and basically as it goes on, get more liquidy and syrupy and all that.
Do you have, as far as goals, do you go in with a mileage goal or a placing goal? How do you approach that?
I normally, this one I want to go in a placing goal. I want to get on that podium. I know I can do it. And, that's a big goal of mine. So I don't bother placing mile goals because you never know, right? Like it could be a different course. It could be long. It could be slow. It'd be cool to get 100 miles and say I did it, but not too much. I want to keep an eye on the guys around me, see where I am, and I'd really love to get on that podium at this world stage.
You're a veteran of World's Toughest. You've been there a few times. What would you say to someone who this is their first year at World's Toughest? What advice would you give them?
I would say make sure you're properly prepared, like equipment-wise. And also, you don't want to get cold. Last year I didn't have the proper equipment. The year before, I felt that was too hot. And last year I looked at the temperature. I thought it would be about the same, so I wasn't even thinking it was going to be too cold. But then, that middle of the night, that temperature dropped, and there was way more water obstacles, way more cold water than the previous year. And then the wind came, and all I had was the Orca swim run, and I felt like I needed more, and I had to bow out at about 5:30 a.m. just to. I was freezing. I was out in that last lap for a while. I didn't want to be the buzzkill that needed to get medical attention and get taken off the course. So I was pretty much done. So not this year. And then also, it's a long race. If you look at the times, a lot of that race doesn't even start until the morning of the next day. So I want to make sure I'm there. Last year there was guys I got caught up. These guys kind of passed me, and I was running with them for a bit, and you end up kind of working too hard, and then they're out of the race, and then we can kill your race too. So looking at the times and how much the placing changes, even in that last 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, it's a long race. So you want to make sure you're up there in the past 6 hours, but you want to make sure you're strong. So that's going to be one of my things this year: is stay patient, stay calm, have fun, enjoy it, relax, and make sure you're still there at the end when that sun comes up the next day.
Jesse, do you have any sponsors or anything you'd like to plug?
I'd love to plug my gym in Toronto, One Academy. My sponsor is Platinum Rig, Rise and Grind Coffee, and that's it. You
say your gym. You own the gym?
Yeah, I own a gym in pretty much downtown Toronto, Leslieville, Toronto.
That's pretty exciting.
I have a 10,000 square foot facility. Obstacle training is a big component of it. But, right now there's over 500 people that come to our gym regularly. There's, over 100 of us that went and did a Spartan race this summer. And a bunch of us that went and did Michigan Toughest. And there's a bunch more coming actually next year. So we're looking forward, and we love seeing events like Tough Mudder really pick it up and adding these toughest events and these world toughest mudders. And it's exciting, right? It just people are excited to come and try it. And it's put some purpose into all the training you do and all the pain you put that body through to go and do these events together.
Jesse, how can people find you on social media?
My Instagram is OA_J Bruce. You can also check out my company, One Academy Life. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm not really on anything else. I'm not on Twitter or Snapchat or anything. But you can find me on Facebook also.
Jesse, any last thoughts? World's Toughest Mudder?
No, just excited for it. Excited for the challenge, and look for me to be there at the end of that 24 hours, fighting for that podium spot.
Jesse Bruce,
can't wait.
Jesse Bruce, thanks much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Special thanks to Jesse Bruce for appearing in this episode. Well done, Jesse. Good luck at World's Toughest this week. Elite Week continues. Who would you like to hear from? Shoot me an email, willhicks@gmail.com. Better yet, let me know in a review on Apple Podcasts. Tap the purple podcast button on your iPhone, search for World's Toughest Podcast, click our logo, and then scroll down to click Write a Review. And if you don't have an iPhone, you can do the exact same thing on Amazon. Just search for World's Toughest Podcast. You'll find us. Scroll down, click Write a Customer Review. We'll see you this weekend. Talk to you soon. Go spend time with someone you love.